The story of a young violinist capturing the attention of audiences across the world begins with a simple idea. Talent, when combined with passion and opportunity, can travel far beyond borders. This narrative follows a teenage musician whose performances of popular songs on the violin quickly gained attention online and in public spaces. Her expressive playing style, emotional interpretations, and ability to transform well-known pop songs into instrumental experiences helped her stand out among many young performers on the internet. Viewers were drawn not only to her technical skill, but also to the sense of connection she created through music that felt both familiar and new at the same time. Over time, her presence grew from local street performances to global recognition on digital platforms, where millions of people began sharing and discussing her performances. What makes her story especially compelling is how quickly she moved from casual performances to being considered a rising musical personality, admired by fans across different countries. As her audience expanded, so did curiosity about her background, training, and the path that led her into music. Many people discovered her through viral videos, where her violin interpretations of modern hits stood out for their clarity, emotional depth, and creative arrangement. These performances became a gateway for audiences who might not typically listen to classical violin music, bridging a gap between traditional instrumentation and contemporary popular culture. Her journey reflects how modern musicians can build international careers through a combination of talent, online visibility, and consistent artistic expression that resonates with diverse audiences. Childhood, family influence, and early musical environment. From an early age, the young violinist was surrounded by music, growing up in a family where artistic expression played an important role in everyday life. Her parents, both musically inclined, created an environment where instruments, practice sessions, and creative exploration were part of normal routine. This upbringing naturally influenced her interest in learning an instrument, and she showed curiosity toward music from a very young age. In her household, music was not only a hobby, but also a shared activity that helped strengthen family bonds. She spent time learning alongside her siblings, sometimes even guiding them in basic musical practice, which reinforced her own understanding and appreciation of melody and rhythm. Living in a musically supportive environment allowed her to develop confidence early on, and she was encouraged to explore different styles rather than being limited to a single genre. This openness helped shape her versatility later in life, especially when she began performing modern songs using a classical instrument like the violin. Her family eventually relocated internationally, which introduced her to new cultural and educational experiences. This transition played a significant role in broadening her exposure to different musical traditions and teaching methods. Despite changes in location and lifestyle, music remained a consistent part of her identity, acting as a bridge between her past and future. The combination of family support, early exposure to instruments, and encouragement to explore creativity laid a strong foundation for her later success, as a performer who could connect with audiences through both skill and emotional expression. Relocation, training, and formal development of musical skills. A major turning point in her journey came when her family moved to the United States, a transition that opened new opportunities for musical training and development. Adjusting to a new country brought challenges, but it also provided access to structured music education and professional instruction. She began formal violin lessons under experienced teachers who helped her refine her technique and build a strong classical foundation. This training included learning proper bow control, finger positioning, musical interpretation, and exposure to classical repertoire that strengthened her technical discipline. While she already had a natural inclination toward music, structured lessons helped transform her raw talent into refined skill. Her instructors encouraged her to explore different genres and experiment with adapting modern songs for violin, which later became one of her defining artistic strengths. In addition to private lessons, she participated in workshops and group classes that exposed her to other young musicians, allowing her to learn collaborative performance skills. These experiences helped her develop confidence in both solo and group settings, which later became important during live performances. The combination of formal education and creative experimentation shaped her unique musical identity, blending classical technique with modern interpretation. As she progressed, she became more comfortable performing in public spaces, which gradually led her towards street performances and eventually online platforms where her talent could reach a global audience. Her development during this period reflects the importance of structured learning combined with creative freedom in shaping a versatile musician. Street performances, and the beginning of public recognition. One of the most significant stages in her early career began with street performances, where she played in public spaces and gradually built an audience through direct interaction with listeners. These performances allowed her to connect with people in a spontaneous and authentic way, often drawing crowds who were surprised by the depth and maturity of her violin playing at such a young age. Public locations such as busy promenades became informal stages where her music could reach both locals and tourists, creating moments of shared appreciation. Many viewers recorded her performances and shared them online, which contributed to her growing visibility beyond physical locations. Her ability to perform popular songs in a violin arrangement made her especially appealing to audiences who might not typically stop for classical music, as she transformed familiar melodies into something emotionally new. Over time, these street performances became more than practice sessions. They became the foundation of her public identity as a performer. Observers often commented on how long people would stay to listen, captivated by her consistency and expressive playing style. This organic growth helped her develop confidence and stage presence, as she learned to perform under varying conditions with different audience sizes. Street performance also taught her how to engage with listeners without formal staging, relying purely on musical expression. These early experiences played a crucial role in shaping her future career, as they provided both exposure and the first wave of widespread recognition that would later expand through digital platforms. Rise to online fame and global digital reach. As recordings of her street performances and cover songs began circulating online, her popularity expanded rapidly across digital platforms. Social media and video sharing websites played a crucial role in transforming her from a local performer into an internationally recognized young musician. Her violin covers of well-known songs quickly gained millions of views, as audiences were drawn to the emotional reinterpretation of familiar music. Each video showcased not only her technical ability but also her creativity in adapting vocal tracks into instrumental form. As her content gained traction, she built multiple online channels dedicated to different aspects of her music, including violin performances, collaborations, and occasional vocal pieces. This diversified approach helped her reach a wider audience and maintain engagement across different listener preferences. Viewers from around the world commented on her videos, often expressing admiration for how she made classical instruments feel modern and accessible. The viral nature of her content meant that each new release had the potential to reach millions of people within a short time. As her following grew, she became part of a larger trend of young musicians gaining recognition through online platforms rather than traditional industry pathways. Her success demonstrates how digital media can amplify talent quickly when combined with consistency, originality, and emotional connection in performance. Over time, her online presence became a central part of her identity as a musician, allowing her to share her art globally without geographical limitations. Television appearances and expanding public opportunities. As her popularity increased, she began receiving invitations to appear on well-known television programs and live events, marking a new phase in her public career. These appearances allowed her to reach audiences who may not have encountered her online content, further broadening her recognition. Performing on television required adapting to new environments, including studio settings and live audiences, which added a different level of pressure compared to street performances or recorded videos. Despite this, she maintained her expressive style and continued to deliver emotionally engaging performances. One notable aspect of these appearances was how she often showcased her ability to reinterpret popular songs in a live format, demonstrating both technical skill and stage confidence. These opportunities also allowed her to interact with established artists and hosts, creating memorable moments that were widely shared and discussed. In some cases, her performances led to special collaborations or surprise encounters with musicians she admired, which added emotional significance to her journey. Television exposure also contributed to her credibility as a serious young performer, reinforcing the idea that she was more than just an online sensation. Instead, she was developing into a versatile musician, capable of performing in diverse settings. These experiences helped her grow professionally and personally, preparing her for larger stages and more complex musical projects in the future. Artistic collaborations and musical exploration. As her career progressed, she began exploring collaborations with other musicians, which allowed her to expand her artistic range and experiment with different styles. Working with instrumentalists and vocalists from various backgrounds introduced her to new techniques and musical interpretations. These collaborations often blended classical violin with modern genres such as pop, electronic, and cinematic music, creating unique performances that appealed to diverse audiences. Through these experiences, she learned how to adapt her playing style to complement other artists, enhancing the overall musical experience rather than focusing solely on solo performance. Collaborative projects also provided opportunities for creative exchange, where ideas about arrangement, rhythm, and emotional expression could be shared and refined. In some cases, she participated in live duet performances that combined violin melodies with vocals, creating powerful and emotionally charged interpretations of well-known songs. These artistic partnerships helped her grow beyond the identity of a solo performer and positioned her as a flexible and innovative musician. Her willingness to experiment with different genres reflects a broader trend among young artists who are redefining classical instruments in modern music contexts. By stepping outside traditional boundaries, she demonstrated that the violin could be both classical and contemporary, capable of fitting into multiple musical landscapes without losing its emotional depth. Public image, influence, and financial growth. With growing popularity came increased public interest in her personal success, influence, and financial standing. As her online presence expanded, so did speculation about earnings generated through digital platforms, performances, and collaborations. Like many modern content creators and musicians, her income was believed to come from multiple sources, including streaming revenue, advertising, live performances, and brand partnerships. While exact figures are often uncertain, estimates circulated online suggesting that her growing audience contributed significantly to her financial stability. Beyond income, her influence extended to inspiring other young musicians who saw her as an example of how talent combined with digital platforms can lead to global recognition. Her story encouraged aspiring artists to pursue creative expression through both traditional practice and modern media channels. Despite public attention on financial aspects, her main identity remained rooted in music rather than commercial success. She continued focusing on performance quality and artistic development, which helped maintain audience trust and admiration. Her growing influence across social media platforms also made her a recognizable figure among younger audiences, especially those interested in instrumental adaptations of popular music. This combination of artistic credibility and digital reach positioned her as both a performer and an influencer in the evolving landscape of modern music. Instrument choice, Stradivarius legacy, and musical identity. A defining element of her artistic image is her connection to high-quality violins, sometimes associated with legendary craftsmanship, such as instruments inspired by historical makers like Stradivarius. These violins are known for their rich tonal quality and historical significance in classical music. The use of such instruments adds depth to her performances, enhancing the emotional and acoustic experience for listeners. The legacy of Stradivarius violins is often discussed in terms of craftsmanship, material selection, and acoustic design, which contribute to their distinct sound quality. For a young performer, playing on a violin associated with this tradition symbolizes a bridge between historical classical music and modern reinterpretation. Her performances often highlight the expressive capabilities of the instrument, demonstrating how traditional craftsmanship can still resonate in contemporary musical settings. This connection between instrument and performer reinforces her identity as someone who blends classical heritage with modern creativity. It also emphasizes the importance of tools in shaping musical expression, as the quality of an instrument can significantly influence tone, resonance, and emotional impact. By incorporating such instruments into her performances, she strengthens the artistic depth of her work and continues the legacy of classical music in a modern context. Conclusion on growth, inspiration, and continuing musical journey. The journey of this young violinist reflects a broader transformation in how musicians can build careers in the digital age. From early family influences and formal training to street performances and global online recognition, her path demonstrates the power of combining traditional skill with modern platforms. Her ability to reinterpret popular music through violin has allowed her to reach audiences who might not otherwise engage with instrumental performances, creating a unique bridge between genres. Throughout her development, she has maintained a focus on creativity, emotional expression, and continuous learning, which has helped her remain relevant in a rapidly changing musical environment. Her collaborations, public appearances, and online presence all contribute to a growing artistic identity that extends beyond any single performance or platform. While public interest often focuses on fame or financial success, her story is fundamentally about artistic growth and the impact of music on diverse audiences. She continues to inspire young musicians to explore their creativity and embrace both classical training and modern innovation. As her journey progresses, she remains an example of how passion, dedication, and adaptability can shape a meaningful career in music, reaching people across cultures and languages through the universal power of sound.